Hello, we are continuing our series of author spotlights for the Cinderella Monologues. And please mark your calendars for this weekend. Yes, this weekend, Saturday, October 22nd, 2022, is when we do the official paperback release of this amazing collection of stories. You want to make sure you get a copy and tell all your friends and family about it. And I'm so pleased with all the interviews, how they've been turning out. I get the extra privilege of sitting down with each and every author to really understand their story and give you all a sneak peek of what their chapter is all about. So I am so thrilled to be able to provide this service for my fellow co-authors and just to shine the light on them even more on this momentous achievement for many of them who are first-time authors, first-time published best-selling authors. And in keeping with the theme of the Cinderella story today, we are going to talk about promises. So the promises that you make to yourself. And if you were to imagine Cinderella, what do you think her promise was to herself? Did she commit to rising above her situation, getting out of that, family that mistreated her and finding out her happily ever after story? And so think about the commitments that you say and that you make, and how do you go about honoring them? Because integrity starts with you first. All right, so leading us into this discussion of keeping promises to yourself will be Kimchi Chow, all the way from San Jose, and she is just a powerful woman. She's the coach and founder of Asian Women of Power, and I'm so pleased to be able to introduce her to you today. So please all welcome Kimchi to our screen today.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Olivia. And thank you, everybody, for listening in and watching this live.
You are looking so beautiful as always, Kimchi, and I just love this background. I mean, usually when you come on Zoom, you've got a virtual background, so I've not seen this part of your space. And I have to ask, I mean, you've got three remarkable figureheads behind you there on the shelf. I see Dr. Martin Luther King, I see Mother Teresa, and Gandhi. So tell me, how do these leaders inspire you?
Yeah, so three of them inspire me based on their virtue. So, Martin Luther King Jr., he inspired me by, speaking up, have a voice as a Black African American man, American citizen, right? So when I look at him, when I heard his speech about something I forgot. I
I
have a dream. Yes, I have the dream, and that's I think his dream represent the dream of all minority in America. So he's the first one who caught my eyes when I just arrived America, and I learned a little bit more about who he is. The second one is Mother Teresa. Um, Although I'm not Christian, I'm not Catholic, I'm Buddhist, but I just got an inspiration by her act of compassion. She's she was a nun, and she had to work and fight with her church politics in order to care for people, the common people outside of her convent. And she really did not care about how, taking care of these patient people might danger her life, because she took care of people who has leprosy, right? So that, with that compassion, oh my God, I'm just so moved and touched by her heart, and there's no discrimination at all. And the last one is Mahatma Gandhi. He's from India. What inspired me from him was that he's, first of all, he's very educated. He's a lawyer, attorney, very educated, understand law very well. The second is that he used his knowledge to serve people, not to gain more power. And the way that he fight for the people is by compassionate serving. uh, and I watch a movie about him, and I just like tear in my eyes. And yeah, I always remember his phrase. He say, be the change you want to see. Don't try to change anybody. Try to change yourself first. So be the one, the example one, to demonstrate the change you want to see in the world. And I use that every day.
That is amazing, Kimchi. Oh my gosh, like wow. What powerful examples to wake up to every day and to follow their examples of these virtues. And how does that tie into, this Asian Women of Power organization that you lead and run?
So Asian women of power is all about speaking up, standing up, and showing up powerfully and confidently. An example of Miss of Martin Luther King, right? Speaking up as a minority, as someone who doesn't have a voice. And I, I think majority of women, we feel that way, whether you are American women or minority, Asian American women. Most of us, we feel that we don't have a voice. So this is the time to speak up, standing up, standing up for the cause, right? It's Mother Teresa example. She stand up for her cause to fight back with the church politics, and showing up is example of Mahatma Gandhi. How do you lead people? Yeah, demonstrate by the way that you show up, confidently, powerfully, and with a clear vision on the direction you want to go to.
Well done, Kimchi. Beautifully said and beautifully demonstrated too. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about your chapter, because your chapter title is Blessings from Unfortunate Events. Oh my gosh, that's so intriguing. And, we're talking about making promises to oneself. So, what was the promise that you made coming to America?
Well, through the journey to get to America, I had a promise that if I survive and get to somewhere safely, I will prove that my life is worthy. So I have been kept that promise every single day. Every time that I there's a challenge showing up, that things that I it's like at the time it could be really bad experience, but because of that promise, I say this is not the worst. What did what was the chance? How could you prove that you're worthy of this life again? You had the second life. You had the second chance to live. So how do you prove it? So that's the way that I remember and honor my promise. So when you read the book, you will see from a simple promise that progress into a little bit different based on how old I am, how mature I am, and until today. And today it's not all about me, it's about contributing, it's about paid forward. That's why I became a coach to help other women, Asian American women, to create the life that they love and the legacy that their family would be proud of.
Wow, that's so emotional, Kimchi. How do you prove that, the second chance at life was worth it and making it count, right? So beautiful. So, growing up in Vietnam, did you know about the story Cinderella? Was there a version of Cinderella that you grew up with, that you heard about, that's different from the American version?
I don't recall. Probably it's animation Cinderella. Oh yeah, I think the Vietnamese has a version of it. Is I think it got a story about two sister. Oh God, I forgot the name, the Vietnamese name. Yeah, um, but I don't recall in detail the Vietnamese version of Cinderella. But it's about struggle. There's two sister. One one is with the stepmom, and the other one is the Cinderella, like what we call here, and how she has to work very hard to prove herself, and she always have positive attitude. She never blame anybody. She has a very pleasant personality and attitude, and the she just like the blessing will come to her. So that's the message. When I was young, I read that story. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Um, Now that you're older, how do you relate to Cinderella now? What is the significance of the story for you?
I as I grow older, and I'm there's a recent remake of Cinderella in a musical story. I forgot, is it from Amazon Prime? They have that. I love it because this Cinderella, she's the ending is very powerful, very empowering, right? She doesn't settle to stay and marry the prince. Instead, she chose to travel to create her own career. So that's what I feel, that the version of the 21st century of Cinderella is about similar like a hero story, right? Everybody, all women, one time or the other, would face difficulties and challenges in our lives, and depend on how she respond to that challenges, she will turn those challenges into give an opportunity, and eventually she will arrive and have a better future for herself by working for herself. Excuse me. By working at it, not by marry a rich guy.
Yes, and you bring up such a great point because the fairy tale of Cinderella is not new. It's been told over many different generations and all different sorts of cultures, and we're still making remakes of Cinderella's story. And I love the fact that you remember the Cinderella musical. It's the more modern take of the story. I think it has Camila Cabello in it as the lead
Yes, that's the
character.
one.
And then she chose a career at the end, which is such a twist. So yes, I'm gonna have to watch it again this weekend because maybe we should have a watch party for the
Yeah.
Cinderella musical as part of our launch because it is such an uplifting, upbeat. They've got more modern songs, right, and new characters that they introduced in this musical.
And
So I'm so glad you brought that up.
and different message, right? It's about women empowerment, and that she actively decide her future rather than say, hey, okay, I will stay put and marry this guy and happily forever, right? By sacrifice her dream, right? She did not sacrifice her dream. She said, no, I have a dream to be the best, like dressmaid and travel the world with this lady. And she say, hey, I'm still young, I can do this. So I watched that movie, and it's, to me, it represents the modern Cinderella stories. And I think by reading our book here, Cinderella Monologues, you will see some example of that, the women empowerment and movement.
It is a movement. Yes, you're exactly right. It is a movement. I feel really strongly about this feminine energy that's rising for all of us. And what you said just now, we're speaking up, we're standing up, and we're showing up as our true feminine essence. Wonderful. Oh my gosh, Kimchi. Why now? Why tell your story now at this point in your life? And, what was the deciding factor for you to join us in this collaboration?
I don't know about you, but writing a book is like one of my far-fetched dream. uh, and it's like I never thought that I would be able to write. So joining this collaboration is for several purpose, right? It's a collaboration. There's 22 women together. So I want to leverage the power of collaboration, of women, of number, to be to showcase in a book. The second is that I follow a leader to write a book, right? She say, okay, here's the deadline and do it. Just write it and do it. No, we'll correct it for you. And she gave me the deadline, and she gave me the number of words to put, right? So I said, okay, it's not too bad. It's not my life's history, right? It's like, okay. So I just put my mind to it, and I think it took me like 3 weeks, 3 weeks to write my version. Yeah, and I'm glad I did.
See, so it's no longer a far fetched dream. You've got it in your hand.
Yeah, it's a very tiny short story. It's my far-fetched dream is actually write like a novel about my family stories, right? Because I have 8 other siblings, and each of them are married, and each of them have 2 children. I want to write that kind of stories and dramas, what's going on with each of us and the families and fightings and eatings and the culture differences and how to raise children. We have different perspective and view about life, even though we come from the same parents. We came here at the same time. I said, how is it? I don't understand it, but it's interesting to me. It's like, okay, so each of us are very different.
Oh my gosh, I would love to read that story. And I know Mila would help you wholeheartedly to publish that. Oh wow, 8 siblings total, including you?
No, including me is 9.
Including you. Okay, so 9 children in one family. And how far apart are you? Are you like, one
I'm
year or
in the
two?
middle.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So you're like the peacemaker maybe for beginning.
I originally shared with my sibling, my brother, the one next to me. I say, when I was young, I didn't like you, and I didn't like the older brother. He say, why? He say, because you always like very nosy. You always like watching me, what I'm doing, and then you're gonna report to mom and dad. I don't like. So the one next to me, I did not like them. I feel that they are so nosy. But the one much older than me and the ones much younger, they don't care about what I'm doing. So so I told them the truth. And
Oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, with a family that size, I can imagine all the drama and the stories that come out of it, the legacy. So, yes, if nothing else, just a legacy book that you can leave for your future generations of what it was like to immigrate, right? From Vietnam to here and making your life count. What I was going to say, does everyone live close by? Are you all in one location, like for the most part, California, or is everyone spread out?
yeah, so eight of us, no, let me see, we have nine, so we have to count. So seven of us live in California, and we pretty much like, San Jose, Fremont, Sacramento, right? So we spread out, but within the northern California. And there are two other, one is in Colorado and the other one is in Seattle. So that's how we spread out.
Spread out. Excellent. Well, there may be it may be an opportunity for a family reunion and start that tradition. Wonderful. And, and speaking about big, large families, please connect with Sandra Jackson, right? She's one of your fellow co authors, and she came from a very big family as well with multiple siblings. And then she gave birth to many children of her own. So I think you and her would hit it off very well, in getting connected and sharing over that common experience. So wonderful. Amazing, amazing. And from this experience, so now you've got your feet wet, right? Like you dip your toe into the writing water, your feet are wet. You've already got some plans for writing your big family novel. What else surprised you about writing? What did you discover about yourself?
Well, I discovered that whatever I'm putting my mind to it, I will achieve it. Because I'm comparing myself to my siblings. A lot of them did not achieve what I achieved. So, when I so my persistency and my determination is there. And remember that it's my promise that I need to keep, right? It's not, I don't think it's the same. I don't think my sibling would have the same promise, because this is my personal journey. They experience things differently. Even though, like I mentioned, they came from the same family. Most of the thing they experience similar thing, like I what I experience, but the way that I respond to it is very different from my siblings. So what surprised me is that if I want something bad enough, I will make it happen.
That is such wonderful advice. Put your mind to it and achieve it. And you got it done. You got it done within the deadline, within 3 weeks. So excellent job, excellent job. And so just, I encourage you to continue your writing practice, even just for 3 minutes a day. That's what Mila always says. Just write, set a timer, even 10, 15 minutes a day will finally add up to a huge novel. So wonderful, Kimchi. So in closing, I'd love for you just to talk a bit about how we may follow up with you after reading your chapter. Tell us more about Asian Women of Power and, how we can book a discovery call with you. I think our listeners would love to hear that, just to learn more about how they can support your organization.
Oh, thank you for asking that, Olivia. So what's next for me, you know, after this book is published, I will launch my 8-week program that will teach you about mental agility. It's called the pathway to a sage, the pathway to the sage, right? So we'll what this program does is it will improve your emotional intelligence so that you can improve your performance, increase your well-being, and improve your relationships. And excuse me. And if people who are curious about how, what this program is about, they can book a call with me at asianwomenofpower.com. There's a schedule button that you can click there, and it will lead you through. That's the best way to connect with me. And if you are out there hustle and bustle and working in your profession, and you're not quite happy about the way about the direction it is, book a call with me to discover your legacy, how you want to live your legacy. And that's based on your action today. So let's have a chat.
Well done, Kimchi. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this 8-week program. It sounds intriguing. So, yes. And I love what you said, think about your legacy, right? Think about your legacy. Think about how you will make your life count. And what a wonderful promise that you continue to fulfill. I see it in you. You continue to fulfill that day in and day out. And, the book will just open up so many opportunities for more people to know your story. And I wish you the very best as you continue to tell more stories and write future books.
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity, Olivia. And thank you to all the viewers for watching and listening to us.
Indeed. And I just want to say thank you to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., thank you, Mother Teresa, and thank you, Gandhi, for watching over us today.
They are here. They are here. They say, don't forget about our mission. We sacrifice our life just for you to be here. Okay?
I
Yes.
could totally see them saying that to us. And what a powerful feeling that is that we can carry that lineage, right? We can carry that energy that they left forward to us and inspire other people along the journey too. So it's a never ending evolution of a human experience. So thank you so much, Kimchi, for all of you watching. I hope you enjoy this conversation. And just loving on Kimchi and how authentic she is, and be thinking about the promises that you keep to yourself today, whatever that may be, and how you may recommit to that promise and keep that integrity. So please follow Kimchi. She's here on Facebook. Get to know her. And please also connect with her on LinkedIn. And then, of course, look for her 8-week program. You can schedule that discovery call with her on her website. So go to asianwomenofpower.com. And like she said, it's Asian women, but it's for people that are looking for their voice.
Yeah, women.
Women. Asian
Women.
women of power. Yes.
Women. Many, yeah. Many women. Yeah.
Men and women. Excellent.
No,
Wonderful.
not men and women. Many women, right? So it's a women, Asian women of power.
Excellent. The link is on the screen. So go there, visit Kimchi, and come back tomorrow because we'll have another fabulous author spotlight for you as we gear up for our amazing Cinderella Monologues book launch. Have a great day, everyone. Bye, Kimchi. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye for now.